May I request you to kindly take your seats. We are about to begin the session.
People have come from other parts of the country.
Yes, in fact. Friends, we begin our final session of the Economic Editors Conference 2012. It's a privilege to welcome the Honorable Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Shri S. Jaipal Reddy, for the conference. I also welcome Petroleum Secretary, Shri G.C. Chaturvedi, along with senior officers of the Ministry and the oil PSUs. The Economic Editors Conference is organized every year by the Press Information Bureau to provide a platform for interaction between the media and the government on the economic sector issues. In particular, it's an opportunity for interaction with the regional media. So this year we have about 35 senior editors and writers from all over the country who have participated in the conference. The conference was inaugurated by the Honorable Finance Minister yesterday, and we had 3 sessions. And today, sir, we had 4 sessions covering the key areas, beginning with the Ministry of Agriculture, then the Ministry of Civil Aviation, followed by Power and Corporate Affairs, and finally, sir, Petroleum and Natural Gas. As we are all aware, the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas is one of the key drivers of the economic sector, and a lot of decisions have been taken recently to improve the development of this sector. The Honorable Minister will be making his opening remarks, after which we will open the floor to questions. Kindly ensure that your cell phones are switched off or are in the silent mode before we begin. Thank you very much.
The Secretary of the Ministry, Sri G.C. Chaturvedi ji, and the Chairman and MDs of all our oil PSUs, senior officials of the ministry, and friends. I find, along with old friends, a lot of new friends who have come for this occasion. So I would like to introduce the guests who have come from various parts of the country. We have distributed background notes, a background note really, on the developments in the hydrocarbon sector. We have also distributed a copy of the speech I should have delivered here. Since I'm not good at reading, I have distributed it. I would like to draw your attention to 2 of the chronic but colossal features. One is we are a net huge importing country. The second factor is about the growing needs of of a growing economy of a developing nation. I know I'm not delivering any new pearls of wisdom, but these factors are often ignored, although they are hugely important. We perhaps will have to live with these two factors for many years to come. So whenever we discuss the hydrocarbon situation in our country, we have to keep these two big factors in view. In addition, there are two new developments. One is the price of oil at the global level has gone up extraordinarily. I agree that it happened before, but never did it rise and stay this high for such a long period. And we believe that it has made a huge difference to the situation. The second thing is, unlike any time in the past, rupee has depreciated sharply. For example, the average price of the Indian basket of crude oil, which was 85.09 per barrel during 2010-11, rose to 111.89 barrels in 2011-12. It has since been going up and down. As though this is not a bad enough development, Indian rupee has also depreciated significantly. To be precise, the rupee US dollar exchange rate, which was around at rupees 44.42 during July 2011, rose to a level of rupees 57.22 in June 2012. I looked at the table between July 2011 and October. The average depreciation is 16.34%. 16.34%. Going by these developments, last year, the under-recoveries of oil companies went up to 1,38,000 crores. This year, they could go up to 1,87,000 crores. Because of the recent changes, that figure will come down a bit to 1,67,000 crores. Even after these recent increases, the under-recovery this year will be higher than it was last year. And friends who have been specializing in this sector know about these developments. But I need to mention this to let others know about the size of the problem. It is the size of the problem which is making a qualitative difference. gave this figure before. Depreciation of Indian rupee by 1 rupee against US dollar in this context would mean a burden of 9,000 crores per annum. So I'm mentioning these figures because they are unmentionably huge. I've asked many mathematician friends to put down the numbers in zeros. They were scratching their heads. So we often take these huge numbers for granted. I don't think government can take these things for granted. Now, in the press note we have distributed, I have referred to the production figures of oil and gas. I have also made a reference to NELP as it is and CBM policy. Then I have also made reference to shale gas policy, how a policy document, a draft document, has been placed in the public domain for experts and companies to react. We have also, in that note, referred to acquisition of assets abroad. I can read from those paras, but the note is available with you. We have also shown how the refining capacity, you refer to the press note only. You don't have to go to the background note also. If you want, I can read it out.
Give it.
We have increased our refining capacity considerably because we have inaugurated new refineries in Bina, Bathinda, and elsewhere. And we have introduced Bharat 4 auto fuel policy in 10 major cities. Is that right?
13. Now it is.
In 10 major cities, but all over the country we are making BS3 oil available. In the morning today, I had a meeting with the CMDs of marketing companies and the directors of marketing in all these companies and some of the executive directors also. We discuss the huge problems that are there in the marketing field. We are not must say something about the number of consumers we have on record. We have 142 million customers. 142 million customers. And there is a record of all these customers on the portal which I launched a couple of months ago. To give you an idea about the magnitude of operations, 3.3 million deliveries take place every day. Every day. I'm not therefore claiming the situation is perfect. Such a huge problem or operation cannot be conducted in a very smooth way. we discussed this morning, our oil marketing companies have launched a project called Lakshya Target, how to streamline the marketing operations. You see, blue book, which is given to every consumer, was not being used before because there was no capping on the number of cylinders. Now the capping has revived the relevance and importance of the blue book. So we are asking the delivery boys to record in the blue books of the consumers. And we will devise a system in the last 2-3 weeks by which each consumer can say, look, what is the cylinder you are delivering to me? Is the second one or third one or fourth one? We have, as of today, the mobile numbers of 30% of consumers. 30% of consumers. And in the next couple of months, we will be able to collect almost 100% consumers' mobile numbers. There are no consumers without mobile numbers, in view of the fact that the number of our mobiles has gone beyond 900 million. So consumers are being educated to use their SMSs to reach people with complaints. And customers are also being requested to use the internet. The cooperation of consumers is very important. If you are to check the dealers' activities also, I think the cooperation of consumers is essential. Many people have asked me, why did the price of non-subsidized LPG go up so much suddenly? My own understanding is this has been happening every year. It was not noticed because this burden was being silently absorbed by oil marketing companies. Now that we are passing on a part of the burden to the better well-to-do categories, it's being felt. It happens partly because the price is linked to the international price. Price of LPG is linked to the international price. And partly because in winter season, there's greater demand for LPG. There is certain seasonality about it. There is also this link of price of oil to the price of LPG. So I thought I would rest my case here and throw myself open to you at this stage.
Thank you, sir. We will first invite questions from our outside.
Mr. Honorable Minister, I am Ramesh Sharma from Bhopal. My question is this: on every first quarter of the year, PCRA conducts a public awareness energy conservation week or fortnight like that, along with the Association of All Oil Companies. My question is that Is there any data available with the ministry that how much energy has been saved after conducting such long expenses and incurring so much of amount every year? Because in Madhya Pradesh, no data is available on asking from PCRA chief and other oil companies.
I must compliment you for having caught me napping.
In fact, we also have asked PCRA to see the effectiveness of their campaign for conserving energy, and they have enlisted a consultant to really see the effectiveness of the campaign. You are right that way, that so far we had been just incurring the expenditure and not in fact concentrating on the result. But the preliminary data which they have given to us shows that there had been some concern about conserving energy, but quantifying it will take a little more time.
So do you have the data, how much expenses has been incurred in 1 year?
That is there. In fact, they have a budget, and accordingly, I think roughly 20 crores, 20 to 25 crores every year they spent in creating awareness.
Honorable Minister, I am Dr. Abraham from Vishnam. It's a daily newspaper from Cochin, Kerala. Now, this LPG is a costly fuel, we all understand. Therefore, all the burden comes to the oil marketing companies or refining companies. But there should be a fast movement for converting it into natural gas and supplying wherever possible by a fast forwarding of city gas supplies. If we do that, and there are a lot of problems in Kerala, you know, in many other places also, taking land acquisition, putting the pipeline and all that, there are a lot of opposition. But if that can be tackled and very fast, because of converting this natural gas as domestic fuel, don't you think that this burden will be reduced? And we are sitting on a huge natural gas deposit, and we are importing also, we can import also, and that will be delinked from all these basic crude economics. So can we do that at a fast way?
You are, of course, offering an ideal solution. The problem is we do not produce enough quantity of gas as of now. We are making our own modest efforts to increase the output, and I am sure in due course we'll be able to produce so much as to meet all our needs. And to do what you are asking for, we have to import the gas. And we don't have too many RLNG terminals also. Secondly, consumers in India are not prepared to pay that kind of price. Our population at this stage of development is highly and rightly price sensitive. I'm not faulting the trend, but they are price sensitive. If you think that all the consumers can afford PNG and all CNG and through CGD, we can import. We will build RLNG terminals in the next few years and do that. But our understanding is most sections of our population will not be able to pay that kind of price.
This 6 or 9 makes no sense to us, because we don't get refill gas cylinder regularly. If we can get 5 cylinders in a year, we will consider it as a boon. Number one problem facing our state is non-availability of gas. I feel this problem can be solved if you increase the number of quotas allotted to our state.
See, earlier there was no capping. Even so, you experience the problem. So it's not a question of quota. We have a problem in organizing proper distribution, but it's not severe. In regard to your state, I will see that something is done.
Good that, sir. He says if one gets 5, it's a boon. We have fixed it at 6.
No, that's true.
So-
What he's saying is,
No, earlier you announced that we will be getting 9. No, not in Delhi, throughout in the country. So the special status is for the Delhi citizens and for the people, not for the rest of the country. So again a gap.
see,
So
sir, you cannot escape the political reality that we are a huge country and diverse country. We have a vibrant federal system operating. States have their own rights. So it's for the states to do what they could do additionally or otherwise. See, in the case of Delhi, I am told they are prepared to go up to 9 for people of BPL category. But that's an initiative to be taken by the states.
मेरा कहना है कि जो अभी शॉर्टेज को आप सॉर्ट आउट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा उसकी तह में जाएं तो देखेंगे कि शॉर्टेज उतनी नहीं जितनी बता दी गई है। उसका कारण ये है कि एक महीने में 21 दिन में सिलेंडर देने का आपका नियम है। वो एक महीने के बाद दूसरे महीने में देता है तो एक महीने का गोल कर देता है और वो जाता है 500 से 1000 रुपए के अंदर में। तो इसको यदि चेक कर लेंगे तो लोगों को जो अभी शॉर्टेज दे के आप तकलीफ पैदा हो रही है उसको निकाल देंगे। मगर इसके लिए आपको थोड़ा देश के अंदर जाना पड़ेगा, गांवों में जाना पड़ेगा, शहरों में, थोड़ा दिल्ली छोड़ के। जैसा आप लोग चुनाव में दौरा करते हैं, थोड़ा अगर इस तरह का दौरा इस तरह से कर लें तो अगर कुछ तकलीफ भी होगी तो लोग आपकी बात सुन के शांत हो जाएंगे और कोई उनमें मरमरिंग नहीं होगी। मगर मेरा ऐसा ख्याल है कि कम से कम 30% आप उसमें रिलीफ दे सकते हैं।
Now, everybody will get cylinders up to 6. And in the rural areas, the demand for more cylinders is less. Naturally, people do afford less there. So the demand is greater in urban areas. The degree of dissatisfaction also would be greater in urban areas. But you rightly emphasized the fact that we must look after rural areas, and we are trying to spread the network to rural areas as fast as possible.
मेरा कहना है कि देश केवल दिल्ली में नहीं बसता,
नहीं वो तो ठीक है।
दिल्ली नीचे भी जाता है,
नहीं,
गंगा ऊपर नीचे जाती है।
हम सब कोई भी दिल्ली से जीतते नहीं है, दिल्ली में आके काम करते हैं। हम सब भी देहात से जीतते हैं।
आपने सब सीढ़ियां पहले पार कर ली, इसलिए आप उससे वाकिफ हैं अच्छी तरह से।
शुक्रिया।
Sir, I'm Vaibhav Kothari from Nafa Nuksan newspaper, Jaipur. Recently, there was some news that ONGC has found some discoveries in Kota area of Rajasthan. So, what is the status right now?
No, we have not made any such announcement of having found anything in Kota.
Any activity?
Pardon, sir?
Chittauड़ में रावत भाटा, you got anything in रावत भाटा?
No, sir.
Chittauड़.
No.
Sir, I am Sushil Chaudhary from Dainik Ganadut, Tripura. Earlier, 4 or 5 years back, there was a report that southern part of Tripura is floating over natural gas on Chittagong side, whereas the Bangladesh has already started through the foreign agency. Whether is there any possibility to digging for exploration of this our natural gas? And second, sir, you have just mentioned that all customers should have the mobile phone. Suppose one LPG customer has no mobile phone, what about will be his fate?
Such cases, I am answering your second question. Cases of consumers not having mobiles would be very rare. I wouldn't say it's not possible at all, but that's a very odd possibility. Having regard to the tele-density that's there in India, that's not too much of a possibility. We will take care of those rare cases, but more than 99% of consumers would have their mobile numbers.
Sir, for Tripura, already ONGC had been exploring very extensively, and you might be knowing that they are going to start a power plant very shortly. So already the exploration is on in Tripura, and we are in fact trying to go into some of the areas which are still unexplored in that state near Bangladesh. So we are in fact talking to Bangladesh also that if they want to have our support and help for exploration, we would be willing to come forward.
No, GAIL has already started this pipeline gas of the house. And already 70% is completed. And if you just give some pressure, then 100% capital will be covered by the bank.
In fact, Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board is the regulator for rolling out of city gas distribution system. And they have a plan to cover almost 300 cities in due course of time. They bid it out to people, and those who win the bid, they in fact lay the pipeline for the city gas distribution. So since in Tripura we had found the gas, so PNGRB had taken it on priority.
On exploration, whether any special grant has been sanctioned to ONGC Tripura?
ONGC is doing on its own. It's a commercial venture. So ONGC does not require any special grant for exploring in the area where there is a possibility of finding some hydrocarbon. Don't require it.
Sir, oil marketing companies have losses, but how they pay dividend to shareholders? OMC companies have losses, but how they pay dividend to shareholders? How is it possible?
We are taking modest care of the interest of shareholders because the losses stroke under recoveries are met through subsidy given by the finance ministry or our upstream companies like ONGC and Oil India. Therefore, with oil companies who have a turnover of more than 8 lakh crores, last year we made a profit of just 6,000 crores. It comes to 0.7% profit. See, a lot of people continue to confuse between the profits shown on our books and say, no, look, what loss are you talking of? So, losses or under recoveries are incurred definitely by the oil companies. They are made good by the finance ministry and our upstream companies.
The background note you've given makes a mention of the Kot Kasim experiment on direct transfer of cash subsidy on kerosene. There was also a pilot on direct cash transfer in the case of LPG in Mysore. What has been the experience on that? And secondly, there's been some announcement recently that the oil marketing companies will stop giving new connections till some deduplication exercise is over. Is there a time frame set for the deduplication exercise to be over? Because a lot of the lower income people are the ones who are in the waiting line for gas connections. And then they are forced into the black market where this price has already gone up to 900 or $1,000 for an LPG cylinder.
For these two pilots, one for LPG, another for kerosene, in Mysore, we had piloted the direct transfer of cash subsidy for 3 dealers only to begin with. Now we are trying to extend it for the whole district of Mysore. It is related to the Aadhaar card. So it depends upon how fast Aadhaar is rolled out in the area and we need to have at least a rollout of 80% in the area to really see whether the direct transfer through Aadhaar functions well. Here we had come across certain problems like all the banks were not ready for this kind of a transfer of subsidy. So we have zeroed in on 3 banks who are fully prepared, and this scheme in fact is already running there for 3 dealers, but for the other part of the district we are still in the process of rolling out. So far as Kot Qasim is concerned, here we have simply taken the bank account number of all the consumers of the area, transferred the kerosene oil subsidy to their accounts once for 1 quarter, then second time also for second quarter. But we are still trying to wrestle with the problem that how to really get the information whether the consumer has lifted that quota of kerosene oil or not. So we are really trying to work out system, and here also we are trying to have it for the whole district of Alwar and Kota particularly. This is under the UID also. We have taken it on priority, but so far as direct transfer is concerned, one-way transaction is all right, but the other way feedback information channel is yet to be worked out. It has given us results to show that the lifting had gone down substantially it had gone down, but we just do not know whether really people are not lifting it because they have got the subsidy in their account or they do not require it. So that is to be seen. In fact, I wouldn't say that it's leakage, that's what I'm saying. Lifting had come down substantially. In fact, actual lifting had been just to the extent of say 30%. The 70% lifting has not taken place over a period of time. This is the average. And your third part was regarding deduplication. We have not imposed any ban on new connection. We have simply said that the one who applies, his application will be taken and deduplication will be done before giving the connection to the concerned consumer. This deduplication now will not take much time because we have taken the help of CDEC computer in Pune, which is very, very fast. Earlier it was taking quite a lot of time, and we could process it in say 20 days, 25 days. One district checking basically in district. One state checking in Delhi took that much time, 27 days it took. So now we have taken their help and deduplication is going to be quite fast.
Yes.
We chose Mysore because we got the information that UID authority had done the work most in that district. You see, it's inevitably linked to the degree of rollout of Aadhaar.
हाँ सर, जब से सरकार ने ये फैसला किया है, महावीर सिंह बोल रहा हूँ पीटीआई भाषा से, सरकार ने जब से ये फैसला किया है कि 6 सिलेंडर सस्ते दाम पर मिलेंगे, बाकी बाजार मूल्य पर मिलेंगे, इस मामले में कई तरह के भ्रम बने हुए हैं। जैसे इस साल के 6 महीने निकल गए हैं, अब बाकी 6 महीने में सस्ते मिलेंगे या नहीं मिलेंगे। दूसरा कि जो मार्केट रेट पे मिलेगा उसका मूल्य हर महीने तय होगा या बदलता रहेगा, कैसे वो तय होगा। और जो भी दाम जो कुछ राज्य सरकारों ने कहा कि 9 मिलेंगे, वो किन लोगों को दिए जाएंगे, आम आदमी को मिलेंगे या सिर्फ गरीब परिवारों को मिलेंगे। इस पूरे मामले को स्पष्ट करने की जरूरत है, तो क्या आप इस बारे में कुछ बताएंगे?
नहीं, हम स्पष्ट करना चाहते हैं, ये 6 महीने को 3 सिलेंडर सबको मिलेंगे, पूरे कैटेगरी ऑफ पीपल को मिलेंगे। यदि 3 से ज्यादा होना है तो नॉन सब्सिडाइज्ड डोमेस्टिक एलपीजी सिलेंडर का प्राइस देना पड़ेगा।
इसका जो मार्केट प्राइस है एलपीजी का, हर महीने केरोसिन और एलपीजी का प्राइस हर महीने ही तय होता रहा है और उसी हिसाब से होता रहेगा। आपने देखा होगा कि पहले ये सस्ता था, पिछली बार जब हमने इसको किया था 756 था, अब ये 127 रुपये का इंक्रीज़ हुआ है क्योंकि इंटरनेशनल मार्केट प्राइस बढ़ा एलपीजी का। तो इस समय जो मिल रहा है वो 756 प्लस 127, तो ये हर महीने ही रिवाइज होगा, कम और ज़्यादा उसी हिसाब से होता रहेगा।
Yes, please.
ये ऑयल मार्केटिंग कंपनी अनाउंस करेंगी इंटरनेशनल प्राइस के साथ, महीने भर का एवरेज लेते हैं और उसके हिसाब से जो भी प्राइस बनेगा वो अनाउंस करेंगे।
ये स्कीम लागू कब से होगी? अभी
हो गई?
नहीं, ये जो कट ऑफ पीरियड है वो 1 जनवरी से माना जाएगा कि अभी से माना जाएगा?
नहीं, 13 सितंबर से लागू हो गई।
तो 13 सितंबर से लागू होगी?
हाँ जी, हाँ, लागू हो गई।
Sir, in the same platform, the finance minister has said about the under recovery that there needs to be a audit that needs to be done before they make any compensation to the oil marketing companies, because he feels that there is a lot of discrepancies in the calculation of the under recovery figure, and before there's they ascertain this the number of 1,86,000 or 87,000 crore, there will be no compensation. But in the meanwhile, the oil marketing companies are suffering because of the servicing of debt and all that. So when can we see some kind of clarity on the whole issue, and what kind of audit he is talking about, sir?
It's not something new. The finance ministry subjected the oil marketing companies to this kind of scrutiny before. See, there are two methods. The earlier method was cost plus. Now the current method, after the recommendation of Rangarajan committee was accepted, is international parity price or trade parity. So we are today following the IPP cum TDP method. The finance ministry earlier, in 2007, 2008, in 2008 and 9, tried to see the difference between the two methods. None of them questioned our accounts. They tried to examine the difference between the two methods. In 2007 and 8, you see, as per IPP-TP method, they were paying 77,000 crores. The cost plus would have meant 70,000 crores. That means oil marketing companies would have got 7,000 crores less. But later, in 2008-9, they paid us 1,03,000 crores. But the actual cost incurred by the companies was 1,05,000 crores. So this is a difference between the two methods adopted. The difference, as you can see, having regard to the totals, is not very significant. However, the finance ministry always has the right to subject our companies to scrutiny, and we have welcomed it, and they are being scrutinized.
But when will there will be clarity on the whole number? As in, we are saying 1,87,000, and when will be the real compensation that will go to the oil marketing company? Because the servicing of debt they have already, which is more than 1 lakh crore rupees for IOC, 30 lakh IOC, 90,000 crore rupees for IOC. For servicing that debt, their cost is going up. So when will the real compensation will come? Because he has categorically said that we will not compensate the oil companies until unless there is a clarity on the whole.
No. The finance ministry has always been quite strict with us. People think that we are all operating in the same wavelength. We operate at different wavelengths so that we subject each other to scrutiny. That's a welcome procedure. The point I'm making is they will scrutinize and give us the assistance. They are welcome to do so.
In fact, just to supplement, we have made all the data available to the Ministry of Finance, which they have asked for from all oil marketing companies. So it is with them. They are basically working out the actual cost, which they feel accordingly should be the basis for providing subsidy. So whatever time is taken in their cost accountant branch is the time Otherwise, they would provide the subsidy as soon as their own calculations are over.
I would like to add something more. This cost build-up is readily available at our website. It's available not only to the finance ministry, to all of you. Some of you have been taking special interest. Really, we want your inputs also, because the cost build-up is there and it's revised every month, right on the website.
Yes, please. Just one minute. 1 minute.
The upstream subsidy burden will be capped to 33% or 38%, or it will be
It is $56 per barrel of their production.
$56 will be there, and whatever else.
No, that was so last year also.
But sir, we always change, every year there's a
No, as of now, it's 56.
Sir.
Question to the on the finance ministry's compensation.
Now when they are about to compensate the oil marketing companies, they are saying the figures which were earlier calculated to increase the price, that figures are wrong, we will calculate it again. Is that what the finance company is saying?
They did not say they're wrong. They want to ensure themselves. They're welcome to do it. And secondly, the difference that has been caused by the increase in the price of diesel is not that very huge, as you know. After all, through increase in the price of diesel for these 6 months, we are only saving 15,000 crores. Whereas the loss, even now incurred on the count of diesel, is 1,11,000 crores. It has not, you're right, it has not become cost plus. They are also applying that method to see as to what is the difference. Yeah, after all, if I were the finance minister, I would like to maneuver and see if I could, if I have to pay less.
Sir, what is the status of oil?
Consumers don't even know that we wrangle and haggle about the payment.
Sir, here. Sir, what is the status of oil exploration by ONGC near Kerala coast, near Cochin? And secondly, is there any chance of considering the slab system for LPG pricing like recommended by the Food Minister K.V. Thomas?
At the moment, we considered the method of capping. We have no other option before us at this moment.
Yes.
Sudhir was.
We are doing a lot of exploration in the Karaikal region, but in Cochin per se, there is hardly anything. But in the sea, of course, that in NELP, other companies where GAIL is there and earlier Hardy Oil is there, they have found some show. All said and done, it's not a very great discovery, but I mean, there's a lot of scope in that area in Kaveri Basin per se.
That is the subsidy towards under recovery.
What's the contribution?
Yes, it is the contribution by upstream companies.
Taxes, duties, everything.
I wish you could write more on this. I wish more press friends pick up the stories from you. You strengthen my hands. It's a case of universal capping. All all MLAs, ministers, MPs, and the corporate captains, everybody.
Sir, there are.
One moment. Yes.
Sir,
I'll just come back. Somebody's
sir,
waiting
sir,
for
have
the
you got any letter from Kerala CM regarding the flat, this gas distribution in flats? Especially, there are some complaints that these oil companies are given a circular that will give only 6 cylinders to flats.
6 cylinders too? In some cases where there is this reticulated supply, the problem has arisen. We in fact are considering it. There are 2-3 alternatives which are being thought, because there the centralized supply of LPG was being made and then the central operator was supplying it to individual flats. We have come to know about this problem, particularly in Kerala and Mumbai. So
And
we are,
Hyderabad also.
and Hyderabad too, yes. And Kochi. Yes, so
See,
we are considering this.
This problem is arising in the case of decentralized pipeline supply in gated communities, in multi-storied apartments. So once we have given only one connection as against 50 people that may be there, naturally they would be subjected to denial. We are trying to set right. We are examining various methods. We have taken the request on board.
Yes,
Amount you're seeking from Finance Ministry for compensation, because the second quarter is also coming to an end and the subsidy which was allocated for the sector, or most sectors have been exhausted. So where do we stand there?
In the first quarter, we had asked for 47,000 crore. That was the under recovery. And in the second quarter, it is 42,000. That is estimated. So these are the two figures you can take. In fact, we asked for the full, but the upstream component has to be deducted out of it.
And how much would be the upstream, sir, if you can just elaborate?
The first quarter, they had contributed approximately 14,000 crore in the first quarter, and similar would be the amount for the second quarter, because last year they had contributed 55,000 crore for the whole year. So if we divide it by 4, approximately it comes to 14,000 crore. Because of the depreciation of rupee, the amount may go up to say 60,000 or so. So roughly 15,000 per quarter will be the amount.
The 10-hour power cut outside Madras city for quite some months it is going to continue for some more months. It is resulting in a tremendous demand for diesel. It's an unprecedented demand for diesel. For instance, I operate from Guindy, where a building used to spend about 2,000 rupees per month on diesel until last year. It spends today 1 lakh of rupees on diesel alone. Oil marketing companies are not very conscious about this phenomenal change, in the sense we are left to be fended by the bunks, petrol bunks. There is rampant adulteration and rampant under-deliveries. I wish the oil marketing companies, the leaders are here to make note of this and try for some special dispensation whereby they will take care of this particular unprecedented situation. One suggestion, sir. The second one, every year, Neelam should know and others should know here, I have been raising the issue of the total neglect of the southern region, particularly Tamil Nadu in regard to gas. Now, GAIL arranged some plan to set up some pipelines in southern parts. Unfortunately for us, the other northern parts are given to Reliance, and Reliance has been sleeping quite over the years on this. Therefore, you talk about completing all this before the end of 2012, but hardly 30–40% of the work has been done so far. And recently we have a court case also of GAIL not able to proceed in southern parts of Tamil Nadu. in regard to laying of these pipelines. I wish you make note of it and do something about it.
We have the chairman of Gas Authority of India, Mr. Tripathi, will answer the second question. As for the first question, I would like to make one thing clear. Diesel price has been kept at lower level, not for generating power. But we have not put an embargo on that because we do not know how to administer it. In Chennai, last summer, severe shortage was suddenly experienced because, because of power shortage, people took to generation of power through generators. So we did supply, but irrespective of anything, we are determined to meet the demand for supply of diesel in Tamil Nadu, in general, in Chennai in particular. And we did this last summer. Mr. Tripathi.
GAIL was authorized 2 pipelines to cover the southern India. One is from Dabhol to Bangalore and Goa. That pipeline will be ready by December this year. It's almost nearing completion. The second pipeline is from Kochi and coming to Mangalore and to Bangalore. That pipeline, first phase is complete around Kochi and will be commissioned as and when the LNG terminal is ready to receive the gas. The second phase is scheduled to be completed by December 2013. That's true, there are some issues on right-of-way within the court, outside the court, but with the help of state government, we are solving this. This is a normal phenomena, but the project will be completed by December 2013.
Sir, देश के कोल्ड एरिया के लिए जो गैस की कैप है वो बढ़ेगी या नहीं? जो देश कोल्ड एरिया जैसे जम्मू कश्मीर है, हिमाचल प्रदेश है, सिक्किम है, इन एरिया के। दूसरा मेरा सवाल डीजल के बारे में है। डीजल की प्राइस के बारे में पार्लियामेंट में भी एक क्वेश्चन उठा था कि जो बड़ी गाड़ियां वाले लोग हैं वो भी डीजल की बड़ी गाड़ियां लेते हैं प्राइस कम होने के, इसलिए उनको ना मिले, उनकी गाड़ियों की कीमत बढ़े, ऐसी भी कोई प्रपोजल है?
See, as for diesel passenger vehicles, it's for the finance ministry to act upon it. We made our recommendation and I cannot make further comment. First question kya tha?
Diesel cap.
No, you may kindly note that LPG cylinders are made available at this rate for cooking purposes, not for heating purposes. See, one of the reasons why people need more than 6 is they are also using it for non-cooking purposes. I don't like to dilate upon it.
On 6, in fact, cylinders are available at non-subsidized rates. So they are available. There is no restriction on not getting more than 6. One can get more.
I'm not so courageous.
Sir,
question
sir, here natural gas production for 2012-2013 will be 9% lower than last year. There is a lot of demand for power sector and other sectors. So how will you cope up, and KG, any improvement in KG D6?
In fact, as we all know that the production from KGD6 has come down, so that is why the total production in the current year will be 9% less than the previous year. We are ready to import gas from outside, but the rate at which the gas will be imported is to be absorbed by the consumers. So if the power sector is ready to take gas, imported gas, at the market price, we would be able to supplement it from outside.
The states are not ready
States, in fact, consumers in turn. So they will have to convey the message clearly.
So,
Pooling of prices for import and domestic when it comes to coal. Is that seriously being considered when it comes to gas? Is that a feasible option?
That's for the Ministry of Power.
This is to be considered by the Power Ministry because, Power Ministry looks after the need for generation for power. No. See, please, the price of these things is fixed by empowered group of ministers, which is currently headed by Anti-Energy. The priorities also are to be fixed by them. If the pricing of pool is to be done, it has to be proposed by the Power Ministry and considered by the EGOM.
Sir, what's the current situation regarding the Indo-Iran gas pipeline? And one thing more, there was a gas tanker explosion tragedy, and what about the compensation in Calicut in Kerala? And what about the compensation package for them, the victims of the tragedy? There was a gas tanker explosion.
The Chief Minister of Kerala spoke to me. We are coordinating with the Chief Minister's office in Trivandrum, and we have made some ad hoc contribution. We are prepared to increase our contribution and put a package together in collaboration with the state government.
Sir, this side.
Just one more.
Sir, this side. Sir, just wanted to know what is the current status of the gas production from the KG D6 basin? Because sometimes we hear the news that the gas levels have come down, but then there would be news reports that Reliance would be able to just ramp up their production with the help of BP. But nobody knows that what would be the gas production from that field over the next 2 to 3 years. Is it actually coming down, or is it that once you decide to increase the price for Reliance, they will be able to ramp up their production? Nobody knows anything about that.
Reliance Consortium has told us they would not be able to produce as much gas as they had promised to do because of geological complexity. And that question is being examined. As for the price, this again is an issue to be considered by empowered group of ministers. As of now, we are not yet considering increase in the price for gas before 2014. However, the empowered group of ministers can revisit the issue. It is to be considered by empowered group of ministers.
Any dates for the EGOM? Any dates for the EGOM, whether it's gas allocation or pricing?
Not as well.
Not as
Are you convinced?
There was a question here.
Hmm?
Do you have a question?
No, we are not convinced. We are not, DGH is not convinced. Therefore, the matter is referred to arbitrators. If we agreed, there would have been no need for arbitration.
So, agreeing to any of the requests for plans, etc. Like, for example, on 7th of August, there was an MC meet. After that meet, Reliance said it was very good. So you told us off the record, it was very good.
We still say that it was very good. No, agreements have been reached, but there are some queries, some clarifications which they wanted to have, some clarifications which we wanted to have. So that's in the process, and most likely, I believe.
So you're not convinced by the argument that a do-nothing scenario can lead to the field shutting down early? You're not convinced by that at all, which is what they've been trying to tell you.
We are convinced that in do-nothing scenario, the production will keep coming down. So that's why they want to explore satellite fields. So for that only, the resolution was proposed for management committee, and certain clarifications are yet to be, in fact, advanced on both the sides. So we are considering.
Coming down production, they're saying there's a fear that in 2015, 2016, the fields could shut
That is a fear.
That is a fear, but
Fear.
you're not.
Not that way, but it will keep coming down, and if it keeps coming down for a longer period, it will come to naturally. So,
So when is the government like to, or the oil ministry going to decide on the pricing of the CBM gas? And what is the status as of now? Because you have earlier sent it to the committee of secretaries, then what's the status right now?
Now, our ministry is to consult Dr. Rangarajan and fix the.
Why is it taking so much time, sir? And what are the concerns?
There are two companies which are willing to produce CBM. One is SR company. They were prepared to offer CBM gas at $4.2 for fertilizer projects. And again, in their application, there were some difficulties. That's one.
They were willing to give it to their own company.
Therefore, I'm referring to the difficulty. Reliance company got customers to say that they would buy their gas at $12 and more dollars. There is a big discrepancy, as you can see. So therefore, this is not a problem on which we could alone take a decision. We wrote to the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister referred the matter to Dr. Rangarajan, and we will be coordinating with him and taking a view shortly.
Yes, Amitabh.
I cannot say you are wrong. We have no such information. Huh? No. Butolaji, can you?
So as far as the direct sale is concerned, like to railways, etc., where the logistic costs of the companies are very limited vis-a-vis the large network distribution costs, etc. So sometimes the companies in the past do, very minimal, maybe if I remember correctly, maybe 15 or 30 paisa kind of a thing. But it is largely on account of the bulk supplies to railways, etc., and because our distribution costs to that extent are less. But this has been stopped now in view of whatever contracts are there, they're going on, and in view of the ministry's instruction.
Which is what?
Malls received bulk supply. No malls received bulk supply from us as a direct customer. They always pick up from the retail outlets only. The bulk supplies takes place to only. No.
And sir, acha. First and corrections, first and the last question from my side, and so given the current rupee dollar movement and that of the international benchmark, is there scope for further cut in the gasoline in the petrol price?
I would like to make it clear. It's for the oil marketing companies to decide. Believe it or not, it's for oil marketing companies. I said,
So you can ask,
I would like,
Sir-
I said that deliberately, believe it or not.
so you can ask them here to maybe answer the question. आप कंपनी से पूछ लीजिए कि कितना नुकसान उठा चुके हैं बटोला जी बताइए कितना नुकसान उठा चुके हैं बता देंगे बटोला जी ब्रॉड फिगर्स बता दीजिए
The oil marketing companies have incurred losses of about 2,600 crores of rupees in the current financial year so far. And as far as the question is concerned, that we are constantly, sir, watching the volatility both in the international oil prices as also the rupee dollar parity. It had come down, etc. That's why yesterday we decided to pass on some of the decrease we thought can be maintained on sustained basis to the consumers. And this situation is being constantly reviewed by us, and suitable decisions to reflect the changes will be taken as and when necessary.
So, friends, I have enjoyed the press conference. I hope you have also done so. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank all the participants of the Economic Editors Conference, particularly our guests from Outstation. I hope this has been a useful experience, and we will endeavor to continue to have these kind of interactions for your benefit. Thank you.